Hey there, welcome back to Manotick Stringworks. So today on the workbench we have this Squier Telecaster, Nash body. It's got a bit of a vintage spec to it. You can see the vintage tuners. It's a 2018 guitar, so it's just about 5 years old. It's used. A friend of mine purchased it online, had it shipped to him, and he wants me to look it over, give it a setup. But I have noticed a couple of things. One is this. That's not supposed to happen. So we're going to have a look at that. And of course we're going to check the truss rod. That's where we always start, so stay tuned.
Welcome to Manotick Stringworks. Please remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for more video content.
So as you might have noticed, this is a Lefty guitar, a second one I've had in the shop recently. And this is the problem I want to have a quick look at first. So these are metal knobs, but they have a plastic insert that goes around the post. And you can see that the insert stayed, but the knob has come off on both of them. And you can see residues of glue right there. So I'm thinking either these failed once and someone tried to glue them back on, or they've just failed from the original install. But these look like they're on there. Can't get that off. So at least with my fingers here. Try again. Nope. Alright, let's see if we can get those off without breaking too much. Alright, so I do have a couple of tools to help remove these stubborn knobs. So one of them is one of these multi-purpose tools. You can get under there and help lift it up. I have this little plastic puller here. Generally when the knob's on it, you put that under and you squeeze and pull the knob off, which I just did. But the plastic part is still on there. So I don't know that this plastic thing will be strong enough to pull this off, so I'm really hoping it's not glued on. Try this one. Wow. Oh, there we go. Got one. Okay. I'm actually glad that this is doing the job because it's plastic. It's not going to scratch anything. Let me try this one now. Try not to get in the shot. Wow. Oh, that almost came up. Can I get it? There we go. Okay. Problem solved. I don't think they were glued on. Hard to tell. Maybe they just weren't sized correctly and they were really forced in there. Anyways, we got them off. I'll test the electronics with these off. Well, the next thing I want to check is the truss rod. Make sure that that works, because obviously if that doesn't work, we've got a bigger issue than the knobs. So pretty sure this is going to be a 3/16 or a 4mm. So let me get in there. Let's see. Okay. Always make sure you're well engaged. I'm going to loosen it first. Alright, well that's turning nicely that way. Let's go for tightening it. Yeah, there seems to be quite a bit. You know, I can go at least a quarter turn, maybe a half. So put it back to about where it was. Alright, so I think the truss rod looks like it's working. But what I'll do is take a measurement right now. So capo on the first, and I like to see about 10 to 12 thousandths at the most at the 7th fret, so we'll start with 10. Finger down around the body in the neck where they meet in the 7th fret. So of course we're on the treble side here. We'll go up to the bass side. That's a little less than 10, so it's pretty good. I have an 8 thousandths feeler gauge here. Let me try that. Yeah, so that's nice. It's probably about 9 thousandths, so we're good. So what I'm going to do is let me loosen the truss rod. So we're going to go counterclockwise, lefty loosey. So as I loosen it, see, there we go. So it's just completely loose. And it's starting to tighten again. So I think we have a two-way truss rod, which is very nice. So here we are in that neutral position, right about here. And I'm going to take another measurement, so let me move you again. Sorry about moving you around so much. Okay, so I'm expecting that we've increased the neck relief here. Yeah, see, this is a 12 thousandths now, and it's just flying under there without touching anything. Trying the treble side. Yeah, it's just touching. So, okay, truss rod works, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to put some tension on it. I don't like leaving it without tension, so I'll put about a quarter turn. That's good. And we'll leave it there for now. Alright, so I think it looks like we're going to be able to do a setup on this guitar, and we'll change these knobs, put some new knobs on, or fix the old ones. I'll talk to my friend, see what he wants to do. I'll check the electronics too. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we have scratchy pot. So there's our volume. That's tone, okay. And we'll check. So here's neck, bridge, and both. Okay, so electronics seem to work fine, and I really don't hear any excessive noise. Alright. So I always find it interesting to see what the output levels are for these pickups. So I've got my multimeter set on resistance, on ohms. I'm going to put the hot at the tip of the output jack, and then the ground on the barrel, the output jack, just like so. And we should get a reading now. So here I'm in the neck position. We're showing 2.8, 2.9. Go to the bridge, 2.8. We'll go to the middle position, 1.95. So as far as resistance goes, it's not the highest values I've seen, that's for sure. So just when I was testing it earlier, the volume level didn't seem really loud coming out of my little bench amp. But anyways, pickups are an easy thing to switch out later on. Alright, well, I thought this might be a good time to try out one of these bullet jack tighteners, right? So this is the 1/2 inch size. I've got two sizes, 1/2 inch and 11 millimeters. They're really well made. I like them. So this little rubber section sticks into the output jack, and as a friction fit will hold the jack in place, and then you tighten it around, right? You tighten the nut like that. That's the theory. Let's see if it'll get in here. So this is one of these Telecaster cup style washers, right? So, okay, so you want to push it in so it's really engaged, and then tighten. Oh yeah. Keep pushing. Okay, well that seems to have worked pretty well. So on a Telecaster with a cup style washer, seems to work. So check mark for the Bullet 2.0. So here's a look at the back of the guitar, right? So it's got vintage style tuners. It's made in China, 2018. Skunk stripe, maple neck, Squier neck plate. some big screws actually. Nice. That ash body, and we have a string through body configuration here. These nice ferrules. Highly figured. I think it's ash. And there's a few chips and dings, you know, scuffs. It's used, it's been played. Yeah, there you go. Some more along the body. So all in all, you know, vintage style pick guard too, 1-ply. No height adjustment here. You have to go inside underneath, but that's okay. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's get to the setup. Well, because this is a Lefty guitar, I flipped it around on my bench. Easier to get at things. And what I do is set off these strings, of course. So just pull through easily and have the string up. Okay, let me flip this over. See if we can push these through. Sometimes they get stuck in there a little bit. To get in there and push them out, but they seem to be coming out here. I'm missing one here, the second string. Aha, there it is. Ta-da! All out. That was pretty satisfying, actually. I apologize if this looks upside down. Anyways, we'll give the neck fretboard a clean here with some simple green or mild detergent of your choice. It's pretty clean. Seen worse, that's for sure. You know, of course the neck is finished, right? It has the poly finish on it, so it's pretty easy to clean. It doesn't get in there, it just sits on the top, right? So I'll use this a bit. A little dry one now. Frets are in pretty good shape too, very little wear. So I'll pull out the fret erasers. I'm not going to go aggressive. I think I'll do 400 and 1,000. We'll try that. That should clean them up nicely. Now we'll go after it with the 1,000. Some pretty good scratches down here, you know, on the 15th through 21st, 22nd frets. They don't look like string marks though. It's almost like tooling marks. There's nothing up here where you'd expect more wear, right? So, a little curious. Just wanted to show you those marks on the frets. Not sure if you can see them. There we go. I guess it's string wear, but very odd. It's not grooves or anything. I don't know how easy it is to see. And as you move up the neck, like, you know, the first 9 frets are clean. So it's a little odd. Alright, we're going to put these Ernie Ball Super Slinkies 9 to 42s, same gauge that was on there. So I'm not anticipating any setup issues. Famous last words. Okay, so it's nice with a Telecaster because of the flat sides. If you tilt it up on your bench like that with a neck rest, it stands up. So we're going to feed these strings through. Now, of course, as a lefty, I have to keep reminding myself which way they go. So first 6th string up here. and just go through the strings. Okay, so we're going to start with the 6th string. We have vintage style tuners, so best thing to do with these, because you have to put the string into the hole like that, is I'm going to start off by going 1, 2, I'm going to try 2.5 past the hole, because you have to cut them, right? You can't just bend them. So better a little longer than shorter. And you're going to put that in right to the bottom. And of course, okay, so with the string in the hole, now we're going to be winding. So we want to make sure we push down on the string, make sure that the windings go down. Of course, it's the opposite way. A lefty. So I'm going to start it so we get it going. And I'll adjust the wraps as we move up. Get it just tight. Okay, if you take a pair of pliers, you can get in here. Get that wrap down. Okay, good. And we'll tighten it again. Okay, pretty good. Yeah, we've got like 3 wraps there, so that's good. Let's do the rest. Alright, so we're all strung up. Our wraps are good and tight. So just on the plain strings, we don't want to cut them before you put them in the hole. You just have to put them in the hole. They'll have enough length to leave like 4 or 5 wraps around the post. It's only the wound strings that we're going to cut about 2.5 tuning posts past the one that you need. Alright, just have to tune it up now. Get it to pitch, close to pitch. Then we're going to stretch the strings out. This way. It gets me like these, to be honest. All I had to do the last couple weeks. So everything's different. It's okay. Yeah, the first tuning is always very rough. Go back. Everything's got to tune in. It's not important to hang on, of course. They will switch the strings. So now we get strings to tuck. We're going to fret. Tuck. And then the wound strings, the spring strings, don't use much attention. The wound strings need to be stretched. So after an initial stretching like that, I mean, we should see, yeah, look, we're down a whole tone here, right? So you should stretch at least a semitone out of the string, sometimes a full tone. But I find it's, you know, right around a semitone. Okay, well, we're going to leave this guitar sit now for a while. I'll come back to it, do some setup measurements, and see how we did. Okay, let's check the neck relief. Capo on the 1st fret, and I'd like to see about 10 thousandths at the 7th fret. Push down where the neck meets the body. Again, we're going to go the other way. I can just hear it touching. So 10 thousandths of neck relief, I like that on a Strat or a Telecaster. That's good. Next thing to look at is the string height. So I like to see 4/64ths at the 17th fret, and that's a Fender spec for Teles and Stratocasters. So using my string gauges, I'll take the 4/64th, put it underneath the string, and you can hear that bounce. Right? Yeah, Yeah, so they're all a little too high. And they're probably set at 5. I wouldn't be surprised, so I'll use a 5/64. Yeah, it's just a little higher than 5 even. So we're going to lower that down. So pretty simple. On a Telecaster, I'll zoom in and I'll have a look. Alright, so we want to lower these. I've got a 1.5 millimeter. It's key. So these have a shared saddle, so you're on each side, right? So I'm going to take my 4/64 gauge, put it under the string, and just drop that string down till it touches. So once I've set them with the string height gauges, I usually like to use this type of ruler here that has all the different markings, 64ths, millimeters, thousandths of an inch. And I can just check it after. But the string gauges make it so much faster. Yeah, we're pretty much on 4 right across the board. So that's the distance, 4/64 from the underside of the string to the top of the fret. Good. Okay, so we'll have a look at the intonation. This is a shared saddle configuration, right, of the Telecaster. So the intonation is shared on that saddle. So, it's going to be close. So E open, harmonic, fretted note. That's not bad. A's a little flat. You always tune, right? Yeah, a little flat. So we're shared there, right? The D's pretty good. The G, it's a little sharp. So I can probably retune that, right? Back to G. Yeah, that's good. B is pretty good. E, so really it was just the E, which was good. The A is a little flat, but honestly with the shared saddle, that's really not going to make a difference. So intonation's nice. Alright, so let's go to the pickup height. We have 3/32 on the treble side, 1/8 on the bass, push down to the last fret, and I can't get that under either one. Try the treble side, same thing. So I'll drop the bridge one down first. That's better. Pull that up just a bit. Okay, but the bridge pickup, the neck pickup, doesn't have any screws. Well, they should be underneath the pick guard, so let's take that off. And there we go. So the screws are right into the body right there, right? So, alright, so this is where you guesstimate a little bit. And that's it. So that'll be as low as it goes. Yeah, I'm not really getting under there. Treble side is good. Sorry, the bass side is good. But the treble side is not good. Yeah, they're both, not as low as I'd like it, but that's as low as they can go. I'll put this back on. Alright, so let's check the action at the first fret. So push down on the third, and if you press on the first, you see how much bounce, and these strings are pretty much touching the first fret. So with an 18 thousandths feeler gauge, that way I guess, show you, it's just sliding under, yeah, and touching. So Yeah, this is around 18 thousandths, which is very nice. You know, guitar 18 to 20, bass 20, 22, you know, at the most, but you know, that's good. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to look at here are these knobs. And you may remember that these plastic inserts that go inside the knob itself that come out, and they are super tight too. When you press them on, you can hardly get them off. So I don't want to just glue these back in and put that back on, although that's a solution, of course. Glue them in, reuse them. So I might do that just to, you know, have some extras sort of laying around, because, you know, there's still a metal knob on the outside, and it's a 6mm fit there, so I might glue those in, use them on some other build. But I went ahead and got some new ones. So these are all metal, dome knobs, knurled. Got these from NextGenGuitars here in Ottawa. I'll leave a link down in the description. So these are solid metal, and they have a set screw to hold them in. 6mm. You put them on, tighten them up. Now, one thing to consider is the fact that we have these split shafts here, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll take, you know, especially I keep these old cheap picks around that I get in packaging and that, and if you cut off a little piece and you put it right in there, then that keeps the split shaft from compressing when you tighten the set screw. The other way to do it, put these facing the same way, is make sure that your set screw is pushing right where that split is. I'm going to put the knob on, and so check where the split is. And lift the knob up just a little bit so it's not scraping on the control plate. Tighten that on, and there we go. That's not going to compress that split shaft. So you just have to be mindful of that. Again, just lift the knob up a little bit. There we go. Nice. And those aren't coming off. Much better. Well, that does it for this Lefty Squier Telecaster 2018. So we've done a full setup on it. Turned out well. It's set up very nicely. And we replaced these two control knobs. So overall, a solid guitar, and the owner, I think, is going to get a lot of good use out of it. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.